reparations is not a nicety. It's not something nice to have for black folk. It is now an absolute necessity. If you do not get reparations soon, black folk, as I told you before, are through. Reparation is not a nicety, it's a necessity. What are the conditions? What are the conditions that precipitated black folk getting into this dilemma? And what black labor, white wealth did, it tracked 800 years of history in very systematic terms to show you every strategy, every technique, every law, every public custom, and every public policy that was used to enslave black folk around the world and to maldistribute almost 100% of all this nation's wealth, power, resource, privileges, businesses, and controls of all levels of government into the hands of the dominant white society. And what slavery and Jim Crow segregation did with black folk, it intentionally maldistributed all the resources away from black folk and created a real-life monopoly game. Black folk in America are playing in a real-life monopoly game that you're totally ill-prepared to play and win.
Peace, love, and reparations. Peace, love, and reparations. Welcome to Black Star TV 2.0. It's your boy, Black Star. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button already, because this is a good one right here. We're going to get into Dr. Umar, and I'm going to break down a little piece of his video that he did on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne and DJ Envy. And I'm going to show another little video of our brother Red Pill, who was actually live. I think his video is still live right now, but I just made sure I rewinded it and paused it at the part because I think he has some good insight on what we should be doing. And he spoke on Dr. Umar and what he was saying on the Breakfast Club. And I honestly, even though he didn't say exactly why he was saying what he was saying, but I'm telling you that I believe that it is strictly about the part that I'm about to show you. So let's get to it, fam. Let me show my screen, share my screen, and I should have did this part before I even got on here. So let's share this joint real quick. We're gonna get into it.
We got to be careful about what we eat and what we drink, especially me.
So what do you think about the study of HR 40? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, that study is
the reparations bill.
Yeah, it's the reparations bill that's supposed to see and determine, you know, who gets reparations and how much reparations.
Well, let's take it a step further. The state of California legislature just approved in the past few days a bill that will give each African American in the state of California $233,000 as a reparations payment.
I think that's some bullshit. I think Gavin Newsom is just doing that because reparations is going to be the buzzword for 2024 to get black people energized.
It is.
Now, let me say something about that. Charlemagne, even though I don't agree with a lot of things Charlemagne does, I absolutely agree with what he's saying right there. Reparations is becoming a buzzword because we, the grassroots, have FBA, foundational Black Americans, not the Pan-African movement or whatever. That's neither here nor there, but we have brought up this whole reparations, and we have reparations rocking right now to the point where, you know, a lot of people are trying to put out legislation. You got a lot of, politicians speaking on reparations. So again, reparations is becoming big. And I think that, and I actually got this from the reparationist perspective, Angela. She was the one who I first heard say that Governor Newsom is actually doing this because he's trying to run for president. Again, this other part right here that I'm saying is I got from myself, and that Joe Biden's said he's probably not going to run the next term. So again, they don't have a black person that can run that we're going to rock with. So I feel like their next best thing is Governor Newsom. He has in California this whole push for reparations, and he's actually signing a lot of bills. He signed, again, I showed on my last one, he signed the the bill to delineate, so we would be able to delineate and have a separate like foundational Black American. They actually broke down what African American was, which was a descendant of chattel slavery and someone who is a descendant of a slave in the United States. So again, which is all good and everything, we down with all of that. But again, a lot of us do feel like it's a political move by him, pushing the whole reparations and California, but
and it's also a trap. Now, first of all, the reparations movement comes out of the Pan-Africanist movement. We gave birth to reparations. It's not anything new. That's our thing.
Not true.
Although it's for the whole people. A cash payout for reparations is a trap. And the reason a cash payout for reparations is a trap is because so much of what needs to be fixed in American society for African people will take more than cash to do it. In other words, I give DJ Injury $233,000. Or if I take the Bob Johnson plan, he said each American African is due $350,000, right? I give you $350,000. Does that stop mass incarceration?
Nope.
Does that stop miseducation? Does that stop gentrification? Does that stop police genocide? Does that guarantee us access to wealth? I mean, in the state of California, what can you get with $233,000? I'm not even sure if that's enough for a house. And on top,
it actually does stop a lot of, probably 90% of the things that Black people go through in the United States is due to economic deprivation. So a lot of what he's saying is actually disingenuous to an extent. Again, I already told y'all that I believe that a lot of Dr. Umar's big gripe against cash payments is that Tariq Nasheed is one of our biggest people who have, you know, the platform that he has that speaks of cash reparations. It's a whole lot of us that want cash reparations. But again, Tariq is one of the biggest advocates with the biggest voice for reparations. And him and Tariq has been going back and forth for years. So I believe that's where his ideas is coming from. And again, this is why I know that when I show you the video of Red Pill, it's going to be, you'll see once I play it. But here, let's finish him up.
Top of that, the minute they give you the payment, they can reduce the value of the payment through inflation. So I can flood the economy with money so the 233 is only worth 120 in about 24 hours. And then guess what they're going to do after they give the reparations to African people? They're going to find subsidy.
See, this is my thing when he says stuff like this. I just feel like at the end of the day, white people aren't even bringing up this point. They have never flooded the economy with all this money after they did that for other people and things like that. So, you know, what is making you come up with stuff like this? It's like you're coming up with, you know, things that they might not even be thinking about. And you're actually giving them ammunition to undermine our cash payments, and then you're going to find, I can't wait to get to the part I'm about to play, because I can't wait to get to the part where he says, because before, excuse me, before he would always dog cash payments and never speak on what he thought we should get for reparations. But he's going to say it today. And boy, listen, this Negro's crazy.
City programs to give to the LGBTQ, to the women, to immigrants, to other people. So at the end of the day, what looked like a step up for Black people would be a step back. If I was in charge of the reparations conversation, number one, control of all Black music must only be done through the Black community. No non-African.
Nigga, what? Number one is control over all Black music. How the hell does that benefit all of us as a whole? And I like Dr. Umar. You know, I wish him the best with his school and everything else. Number one on your fucking reparations list is control over all Black music. Nigga, now I know we got a lot of people who like to rap and all this shit, but come on, fam. Come on, fam. How does that help all of us as a whole? Does that stop mass incarceration? Does that stop all the stuff you was just naming? That cash payments ain't gonna stop? Come on, fam. This shit doesn't even make any sense. I'm gonna let him finish.
Can control our music. Prince, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Biggie, Tupac. If the publishing, if the marketing, if the promotion, if the recording is not controlled by Black people, that has to change. We own our own music. Nobody can own, sell, produce, publish, promote Black.
And how is Biggie's publishing going to help me? How is Biggie's publishing going to help my grandmama, my aunt, and my uncle, and your aunt, and your uncle, and your family? How is Whitney Houston's publishing going to help y'all? Why would that be the first thing on your reparations list, fam? He gonna say some other stuff, but why would music be the first thing that you speak on reparations? You want to take cash for every single person out the mix and put music as your number one? Well, this nigga is fucking crazy, bro.
Black music, but black people.
Why is that so important?
Because music is one of America's leading export industries. America makes more money off black music than almost anything else that she sells. So if we control the music, we have a steady stream of global revenue where we can build a black Wall Street.
Yeah, but the niggas who making the money off the music ain't even off that type of time. The people, you making it seem like this is going to go to everybody, though. The people who making the money off the music industry isn't off no Black Wall Street type of time. Let me bring that back for y'all for a second, man. Let me bring that back a quick second.
Whitney Houston, Biggie, Tupac, if the publishing, if the marketing, if the promotion, if the recording is not controlled by black people, that has to change. We own our own music. Nobody can own, sell, produce, publish, promote black music but black people.
Why is that so important?
Because music is one of America's leading export industries. America makes more money off black music than almost anything else that she sells. So if we control the music, we have a steady stream of global revenue where we can build a black Wall Street in every single city in America for black people. That's how much money will be coming in from black music. That's one. Two, all black inventions return to us permanently. Everything we invented is a permanent patent for Africans. And if you want to use it, you must pay us a percentage. The cell phone, we invented that. Internet, that's ours. Hella.
Now, I agree with this. I was thinking about this the other day when I actually did my Black Inventors video. If you go back on my page, I was actually thinking about that. But again, who does the revenue go to? Does the revenue from because the black man was the person who invented the internet, but the revenue that's going to get shared from Google and all these people, that Microsoft and all these people that control the internet right now, who is the money going to go to? Is it going to go to the person's family who invented the internet? When you bring up the cell phone, yes, a black man invented the cell phone. So is the cell phone money, the 20% or whatever you talking about revenue that they got to give to who is it going to? Is it going to that man's family? Because other than that, it doesn't help all of us. Fam, I don't know where he's getting any of this stuff, or he just, I don't know, man. He confuses me sometimes.
Helicopter, that's ours. Self-lubricating engine, the microphone, the stop sign, the walkie-talkie. Why are those lights on right now? Because a black man named Lewis Latimer wrote a textbook that taught China, the UK, Canada, and America how to light up a whole city at night. Without Lewis Latimer, you don't get street lights at night. You don't get constant illumination anywhere in the world. So guess what? Anybody running lights, you paying black people. Take back ownership of our music. Take back ownership of our inventions. Next on the list is all the confiscated lands. We had hundreds of thousands of acres of land stolen from us between 1865 and Malcolm's assassination in 1965. We need to put together a research team that's going to investigate all the land that was stolen from African people and return it back. Since most of our people are dealing with homelessness, we have the highest homelessness rate in Black America since the 60s. If we can get our land back, that will go a long way to getting a lot of our single mothers and their children off the street. In addition to that, America has about 10 major exports: gold, oil, water, electricity. We get a 25% cut permanently. This is perpetual. Every time America makes a dollar, we get 25 cents of that dollar as part of the reparations payment. American Africans, 60% of us make up 10 states. All 10 of the states that represent 60% of us are seaboarding states. We should automatically control the port so we know what's coming in, what's going out, and we also get a percentage of that. But here's my biggest issue with reparations 3. One, psychological damages. I'm not hearing enough of the reparations talking heads discuss enough about the psychological damages. You know you can get far more from what you're owed psychologically than you can ever get for 243 years of unpaid labor on the plantation. The psychological damage is what what affects us the most. Every time you see a black man with a white woman, that's psychological damage. Every time you see a black woman with a blonde wig on her head, that's psychological damage. Every time you see a little black boy or girl playing with a white doll instead of a black doll, that's psychological damage. When you see a black man take the life of another black man, that's psychological damage. America owes us more for the psychological Holocaust than she can ever owe for the labor. So we need to talk more about that. In addition to that, I don't hear nobody talking about the role the Arabs played in the transatlantic slave trade. I don't hear anybody talking about the role that the European Jews played in the slave trade.
No. Now, I was with you all the way up till you said all that. Now, everybody does talk about that. But again, we trying to take everything one step at a time. We're not trying to do too much at once. So again, we're going to come after the main culprit, and then we can go after everybody else. Yes, people have been talking about the Jews. Yes, people have been talking about the Arabs. And yes, we have been talking about the Africans who actually sold us in the first place. But, you know, they way down back on the list. We really don't even want. No, I would say I wouldn't even want no super payments for them. I would want them to work with us at the end of the day, right? More than just making them try to, you know, give up the resources that they really don't got in the first place, that somebody else controlling in the first place. You feel what I'm saying? You know, but again, people have been talking about that, so I don't know what he's talking about. So let me finish.
I don't hear nobody talk about the role that the Catholic Church played in the slave trade. If we're going to talk about reparations, bring every group that was responsible, those who financed the slave trade.
And the Nigerians too, though.
Okay, let's talk about that. There was participation from some African kingdoms. We know that Dahomey, for example, which was popularized in the Lion King movie, the Woman King movie. There was some African participation, but guess what? The transatlantic slave trade was a European operation. It was controlled, it grew, it was financed by Europeans. When many of the African nations found out what was really being done to us, because in Africa, there was no concept of chattel slavery. There was no such thing as owning people forever. There was no such thing as perpetual ownership of an entire family line or a bloodline. You understand? There was no such thing as being dehumanized. European slavery stripped African people of our humanity. There's no precedent for that in the world before European chattel slavery. They didn't know what they were getting into. They were wrong and can be held accountable. But let's not take the onus off of the true power structure behind slavery, and that was the white man.
I think you say Portuguese.
Oh, Portuguese was in it. The Dutch was in it. The Italians was in it. The Germans was in it. Who didn't have a hand either in slavery outright or colonization that came after it? And when you factor in colonization with slavery, you can't possibly blame an African nation for that because they suffered during colonization as much as we did in slavery. So I reject any proposal that wants to make African people more liable for slavery than the white people who owned, controlled, expanded, and benefited.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah, they're definitely not more liable. It's just like you said, everybody.
Nor are they equally liable.
Equally. Everybody needs to be at the table.
Absolutely, but Africa don't owe us reparations. They owe us as a people internal reparations, just like we owe ourselves as a people internal reparations. Here's what I want to say. We are entitled to reparations. We will get it. But let us be clear something. Money isn't going to fix many of the problems that we have. Money isn't going to stop the back and forth accusations and tearing down that's going on all over the internet between black.
Family. I don't even mean to call you nigga. I'm going to take that back. Fam, the first two things you spoke of, the music and the inventions, had to do with money. What are you talking about? He said music, the revenue, getting all the revenue together to build Black Wall Streets. You said the inventions and getting 20 to 25% of the inventions, the ports, everything you just said in your shit had to do with money, my nigga. What is you talking about? What is you talking about? Now, all of a sudden, you trying to, what's the difference between cash payments and getting the revenue, fam? they can give us the revenue and then inflate the bread. Come on, bro. This is why I say this is why we have to think logically and stop just being the opposite because we just want to be opposite of people we don't agree with on certain things, right? Or people that we have beef with. Because I don't even know if you just disagree with everything the man Tariq be saying. Come on, dog. You're not making no sense. You are not making no sense, family. You just said the music and the revenue of the ports and all the inventions, dog. Now you saying money ain't gonna fix shit.
Black men and black women. Money not going to stop that. Money ain't going to make the black man love the white woman anymore. You understand me? Money is...
I'm gonna go back because he pissing me off because y'all see he just didn't make no sense. Money is not going to do this. Money is not going to do that. Money is not going to do this. But the first two things in your little three-thing list, in your little three lists that you listed, had to do with bread. Come on, man. We're gonna go to our brother Red Pill real quick.
But this is my thing with Dr. Umar because I don't want to be long-winded. This would be my advice to Dr. Umar because I'm not going to do a point for point of the conversation because I don't think that that's needed necessarily. But my thing is, I feel that a professional team should step in, a professional team of professionals who have ran schools, brick and mortar schools, black schools and whatnot over the decades. I think that a transitional team should take over that school and let Dr. Umar go and bring him into black media, right? And I have a plan for Dr. Umar to bring him into black media where it makes sense. Now, this is a case study that we can even implement. And if anybody is, that's my guy right there. I'm going to send him this video so he can see it personally because I don't want to be speaking nobody's name and they not right there, right? So black people, melanated people, right? My niggas. I've already stated on many occasions that one of the things that we have to begin to do is fund each other. We have to identify those amongst us who we deem to be valuable, and we got to cut the check. And somebody will be like, damn, Red Pill, we don't got it. Why we got to cut the check? Because we all got $5, because we all got $10, because we blow a lot of money at the weed man, because we blow a lot of money on them Popeye chicken and whatnot, because we blow a lot of monies in Whole Foods to get GMO food, because we got a lot of motherfucking expendable income. We spend about $1,000 on wigs, right? We spend $40 on a shape up. Like, we got it. You know what I'm saying? And we need to get off of that. And we can begin to accept the fact that we, peace, that we have what it takes. And then we collectively, right? I have a formula, piece of the God. I have a formula that I've shared, an economic formula that I've shared that we're going to implement with the Facts Initiative. 30,000 at $20. No, 30,000 at $22, which makes $666,000 every time we do the collection and whatnot, or every time that we do the investment, right? So we don't know our true power because we're not moving like an ant farm, right? Still in poverty, still in lack, still making excuses, still not recognizing the power of the many versus, the power of the one. You know what I mean? Still counting other people's pockets. Still not focusing on the big picture.
I'm gonna fast
and the
forward
big
a little
picture
bit.
is you don't need to be discovered by nobody else if you know who the fuck you are. And if you discover yourself, you get to own yourself.
All right, this is where he's gonna go in again.
You need a photographer to come and take a photo shoot. But we could put together. My thing is this with Umar, good brother. I don't want your legacy to go to the school only. You know, you're at a precipice right now. Our people need you. They need your energy. They need your voice. They need your passion.
Thanks.
They need your unwaveringness. They need your intellectual input. You're not the only one that we need. We need a few others. However, we should begin to reward those amongst us who are reward worthy and valuable. I'm not here to judge anybody on their shortcomings in terms of what it is that they promise our people. What I am here to do is to say we need a starting five. We need black media more than we need anything. Right. We need strong voices. We need to hear those voices, if not on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. But this is some of the things that the voices need. The voices need management. The voices need someone that they have to answer to. Right. The voices are the talent, and the talent needs management, because the voices cannot be let alone to just run. The voices have to follow certain protocols and rules that the people have deemed those are the rules. Okay?
Yes. That.
You niggas need managers, and you need PR teams. You just can't be running around saying anything and everything that you just want to say. And, you know, we can't have those meltdowns. We have to protect.
Yo, facts, fam. And again, I'm trying to tell you, I feel like he's saying that because, again, you come up in these spaces and on these interviews and you saying things that's not making sense, things that's detrimental to the movement to an extent now, not a whole lot, but it's like almost like you're trying to railroad our cash reparations. And again, your alternative doesn't even make any sense, right? And this is why sometimes you have to sit down with other people so other people can challenge your point of view. Because again, if I was up there with DJ Envy and them, I'd have been like, fam, you just said money don't mean nothing, but money ain't going to be the answer. But, you know, your first two, you didn't say psychological first. You said the music industry, the money from the publishing and all this other stuff. That's what you brung up first, right? Then you brung up the inventions and the ports. All that had to do with revenue. How does that go to all of us? How does Biggie's album, the publishing from his album, or the money that's going to be made off of Biggie, Mariah Carey, Tupac, and Michael Jackson and Prince, how does that hit my pocket? How does that revenue hit my pocket? How does that revenue build a Black Wall Street, like you said? How does that shit do that? I don't get it. So again, like, this is why I'm trying to tell you, this is why I know this is why he made this, because he's breaking down the Breakfast Club interview.
Protect ourselves against people's heads being completely blown out of proportions. Thanks. To whereas they'll turn into some type of tyrants if handed too much power. There has to be what is known as checks and balances. But we collectively should reward or retain the people amongst us who have proven themselves to be value just based off of their intellectual prowess. Get that man $2 million. Get the money out the way. Back. Right? Get that out the way. You feel me? Collectively come up. You see how they grabbed Deion Sanders? Check this room. Check this out, y'all. This is Miss Maddie's tea room.
This nigga, man.
All of y'all had a Miss Maddie, right? This is Miss Maddie's tea room. Y'all know what it is. That's the couch with the plastic on it. You can't come in. You can't even wear shoes in Miss Maddie's house. Yeah, so I'm gonna sit right here in Miss Maddie's tea room, and we're gonna sip some motherfucking tea and talk about Umar real quick, but not in a disrespectful way. we're gonna talk about the brother because we love the brother, and we have to pump our brakes and we have to pivot. We're going into 2023. We were shown in 2022 that we don't have a grip on the media, and they're running with our narratives, right? They're creating their own narrative and they're running with their narrative. And if we don't have strong voices, right? No disrespect to the Charlemagnes or the DJ Envies of the world, but the interview with Dr. Umar showed me that y'all live on two different planets. It's a planet, it's a planet's distance between the intellect that y'all possess and the intellect that somebody like a Dr. Umar possesses. And I'm not saying that he's the most intellectual, melanated man or person out there. No right disrespect here to any of my thought leaders. You know, you got to stroke these niggas' egos sometimes to keep.
He said you got to stroke these niggas' egos sometimes to keep them and not in line, but
keep them in alignment. You know what I'm talking about? And let everybody know nobody is putting the next man in front of you, but
because for real, I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. A lot of these dudes do be moving off a lot of ego shit. You feel me? People get you know, some notoriety and fame to an extent, right? Because now you don't even have to do anything. I'm not saying that Dr. Umar hasn't done anything, but sometimes now you don't have to be you know, a movie star or a rapper or, you know what I mean, or a basketball player or a football star to become famous now. If you starting to get hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube, or I'm gonna even say 20,000, if you getting 20,000 views on a regular and you going on all these different platforms, bro, you become famous to an extent. And I realized that when I went to the reparations rally, and I was just like, yo, damn, the way we all was flocking to, you know, not just Tyreek, but other people, Dr. Randy Short, Marcel, and, you know, Jade and everybody, like, bro, we are starting to, people are starting to become famous. And I'm not saying that they are big-headed or anything like that. I'm just saying as far as, you know, how people are seeing people that are constantly, you know, in the limelight on the internet. You feel what I'm saying? People are becoming famous, especially inside the community where, you know, people were surrounding people like, yo, oh shit, it's Dr. Short or whatever. It's Kaba or, you know, Professor James Smalls. And we just get around these people like they are our celebrities, which they are our celebrities to an extent. They are family, but they are our celebrities too. And some of, not these people that I just mentioned, but some people do have big heads. And I am going to say Dr. Umar is definitely one of them. As much as I like Dr. Umar, he definitely, oh, I'm the King Kong consciousness. It ain't nobody in the community that's da-da-da-da-da-da. And he like bigs himself up, talks in third person, all type of wild, crazy stuff. And it's just like, damn, fam, all right, you know, calm down a little bit. You know what I mean? But again, you, like he said, you got to stroke some of these dudes' egos.
But when are you ever going to be comfortable enough to stand together with the next man? Do you know, do y'all know what the NBA looks like? Do you know what the NFL looks like? There's no one man on the field by themselves, right? There's no one man on the field by themselves. It's always a team effort. And those team players need a coach. We need coaches. We need people who can coach some of our young leaders and our thought leaders and whatnot, so they don't become too big-headed and lose themselves. Because we do have, you know, we have shit like that where we like, yo, we're not gonna support nobody because we don't want them to get out of hand. We don't want them to get out of control and whatnot. We don't want them to get too much power because absolute power corrupts absolutely. Fact. Look at what they did to my good brother Showtime, right? The good brother, what's his name? Dion, right? They don't even have all the money for Dion. You saw the video. They said we're gonna make the money up, but they got the advance money, right? Dion left his college, a black college, for them Peckerwoods, who came with a bigger check, right? They were able to come with a bigger check. All I'm saying is, with the, I don't know, could somebody Google the capacity of Jackson State?
All right, but that's I just really wanted to just show that he was basically speaking and saying the same type of things that I was saying. Like, yo, not the same things that I was saying, but you know, he was speaking on, you know, bro, you need somebody to monitor what you're saying for real, or to, be checking the things that you're saying, because you saying bullshit right at this point, right? You saying things about reparations that's not making sense, that's, you know, kind of crazy at the end of the day. Nigga, we don't need money, but the first two things you state is about bread. Like, come on, fam, that's not even making any sense. And again, I love Dr. Umar. At the end of the day, I hope that you get the school up and running, and I hope, you know, it does well. You feel me? I donated a couple dollars to that joint at the end of the day. I didn't have it. I'm not no rich dude. I'm not, you know, listen, I'm not doing well for myself like that. You know what I'm saying? So listen, at the end of the day, man, fam, listen, bro, I wish you the best. You know what I mean? You know, I done donated to Marcel. I done donated to, you know, I do what I can do. I can't do much, but I do what I can do at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But, man, listen, family, we do have to start working with people. And that's what he said. Are you what the NBA looks like? Because it be a lot of people out here that are, you know, intellectuals, and they really don't fuck with each other. They like really don't rock with each other on a regular basis. You know what I mean? They might come and do a you know, do stuff together here and there, but it's not like a consistent working with each other with some you know, with a big plan. Like, yo, we gonna do this, and we gonna get this, and we gonna rock with this. You feel me? Like, we get on here and not me and Tim, because I don't really be having people on my channel like that, but you know, we'll get, like, people will get on the internet and say, yo, they bring this person on their channel or bring that person on their channel. You feel me? I'm talking about big wigs. I ain't even talking about nobody like me right now. Again, make sure you hit that subscribe button, family. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button. Definitely hit the like button, get the algorithm popping. And again, like I said, we'll have, you know, people come onto the channel, but we not, you know, again, it's not no real building together outside of the internet. You get what I'm saying? Because again, I always told y'all, at the end of the day, it still be coming down to being around each other physically and starting to build and, you know, put our thoughts together and things like that. Again, you could do that from afar at the same time, but again, it's something different about that energy when you around each other. But again, man, this ain't no diss video again to Dr. Umar, dog, which, bro, this whole going on national TV and national radio stations and stuff, and like dogging our little reparations push that we got going on, like, fam, that's wild, bro. That's wild and hella off code, my nigga. That shit is hella off code, my nigga. Like, you, bro, that shit is just wild, bro. That shit is wild. Because again, I said before, I said every time a nigga talk about and I ain't saying he heard me say it. I ain't saying he heard me say it, but fam, I literally said the last time he was dogging that cash reparation, I'm like, bro, and the nigga not even coming up with nothing. You know, he not even coming up with, yo, an alternative. You just saying, yo, cash reparations is stupid. These thirsty cash reparationists and these thirsty. Like, come on, dog. Right? Why you gotta talk at us like that? Like, you feel me? At the end of the day, and that's what I'm saying. This is where people starting to be like, yo, fam, like, you getting above your britches a little bit, like you above reproach. Like, you can't, like, nobody can tell you nothing type of time. Again, I like Dr. Umar, but I started seeing that after a while too. But again, you started, you know, you started blowing up, and you know, so that it just happens, dog. And I ain't even mad at that, because at the end of the day, that just happens, right? People, you know, people get a little taste of power. Somebody else was saying that earlier that I was watching. People get a little taste of power, and it's like, yo, they just, don't know how to handle it, right? Who the hell was I watching? They was talking about that, and they was talking about it was actually Umar. I'm tripping. It was Umar in that same video talking about black people haven't got taste of power. So once they get, he was actually talking about the Congressional Black Caucus when he was talking about this, and he also was talking about the churches, right? And he kept saying, yo, the people in the church, you know what I'm saying, they will be a pastor for years and never step down. You got 30-year-old young monsters in the church or whatever that can, preach and all this other, but see, they got so much power. And again, with power come that us ain't. You feel me? With power come that cat. So again, this is why a lot of and even with females too, it's the same thing, because a lot of, you got people in the Congressional Black Caucus and the NAACP who are females and males that are old as hell, because that's what he was talking about, people in the Congressional Black Caucus being 60 and 80 and 70. Like, nigga, why is y'all still here? Why don't you get a young lion or a young, young lioness to come up in here and take over? Like, bro, y'all still thinking the same way. You need a new, younger generation to do what it do. You feel what I'm saying? Or at least, like, all right, let's say, I'm just make hypothetical. Let's say that is 20 Congressional Black Caucus leaders, right? Nigga, maybe 5 of them niggas should be old heads. Nigga, but the majority of the people should be in their goddamn 30s and, 20s and shit like that, dog. Late 20s, 30s, maybe their early 40s. Like, nigga, we shouldn't be having the whole goddamn Congressional Black Caucus is the youngest person is 68 or 64 or some shit like that. Come on, dog. We need young people in this, man. We need young people in the fight, right? Because at the end of the day, they say the old people counsel and the young people are the warriors. But right now, when we not in a physical war, nigga, this is the war. This is the war when it comes to media and legislation and all this other stuff, and what the Congressional Black Caucus does. Like, that is war, nigga. And we need some of y'all old heads to sit the fuck down at the end of the day. Because a lot of y'all be just straight fuck buck dancing and shit. And that shit is in the way. That's why niggas ain't been progressing. Because you got a lot of old people that's still stuck in their ways. And again, this is why we need a council to allow a lot of us to, have to be able to, what's that shit called? I'm trying to say. A lot of us to be able to have to get guidance from somebody else. You feel me? Or you have to be heard, not be heard, but like, get checked to an extent. I don't want to say get checked, but you have to go through the rankings of like, yo, again, like how Red Pill was saying, if we have a media channel, like, you can't just go on here and just say whatever the hell you want to say, right? It has to be, it has to be in alignment with what the whole group is trying to do. You can't just run off to the left just because that's how you feel right now. You feel what I'm saying? Because again, a lot of people, I might not like somebody, and that person is like, yo, you know what? We need to work with Africa, and we need to do this, that, and the third. And that might be the right thing to do. But because I don't like this person, I'm just going to disagree to disagree. Nah, we need to be working with China. Like, we need to be working with, you know what I'm saying? Mexico. Like, nah, nigga, Africa got all the resources that we need. Matter of fact, we need this specific resource, and Mexico don't even got that shit. Africa got it. And just because I don't like this person, I'm like, nah, we shouldn't even mess with Africa. Nah. Like, hold on. How the hell we gonna get the resource, nigga? Nah, see, what we really need to do is go over there and get some rice and beans. Like, nigga, but we need gold, nigga. All the gold is over here. Like, you see what I'm saying? So this is, again, why we need, people to have to go through certain, people and councils you know what I mean, to just get checked sometimes, man, because we need some of these Negroes to get checked, man. Females too, men. We need people to get checked because people be out here just recklessly saying whatever the hell they want, and, you know, nobody's there. And again, because when some of these people get big, they feel like they're above reproach. That's why I said, man, drop a comment in the comment section. Guarantee you don't have to agree with me all the time. You don't have to agree with me at all if you don't want to at the end of the day. But again, I'm not going to be mad because people don't agree with me. I know I'm not right all the time. You feel me? No, I'm not right all the time. None of us is right all the time. But again, you, like I told you, when Sinetta, I used to watch Sinetta, and I remember him telling Shaka, Polite, and all them other brothers, like, yo, I've never heard any of y'all say I'm wrong, or I was wrong, or I don't know. You feel me? Nigga got to have an answer for everything. Like, nigga, you don't have an answer for everything, dog, because you don't know everything. You feel me? So, again, man, at the end of the day, man, it's all love. But, bro, Umar, this dude, he off code right now with his reparations. I ain't going to say he off code with everything, but with reparations, fam, you was off code. And, again, when you get off code, you're going to get checked in the community. That's another reason I think they brought him up there. I think they brought him up there because he don't agree with cash reparations, and they wanted that to be a national thing to be heard to the masses. Word up. Word up. Because, again, think about the things that he mentioned. That doesn't help everybody. Nothing he said helped everybody. Family, listen, man. I'm going to let y'all go. I got to get some things done. I got to actually do another video, too, later on today. I appreciate all the support. I want to thank all of y'all who you know, come in and listen to my videos, who hit the like button, who be subscribed. Man, I definitely appreciate the love. I respect all of y'all. And, you know, again, I'm just doing this to, you know, put the people on awareness of, you know, the potential that we have and how we need to work together. Because all my stuff is always going to be positive, Black thoughts. You feel me? We're not trying to bring no negativity into this. You know, sometimes I delve into other stuff, you know, just to be, you know, just to switch it up a little bit. Can't be constant on the same thing. Sometimes people do want to see other stuff. So again, but for the most part, majority of the stuff that I do is always going to be Black content. Well, all of it's going to be Black content at the end of the day, but, you know, I might delve into a little bit of hip hop and a little bit of, you know, finance stuff and things like that. You know what I mean? So again, man, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all support, because again, man, as Math Hoffa says, it don't cost you anything unless you a hater. Unless you a hater, man, it don't cost you nothing to subscribe. It don't cost you nothing to hit that like button. It don't cost you nothing to share. Don't cost you nothing to do any of that. Anything. That's free support. And again, like old boy said, though, again, the Cash App down there, again, that's my two kids' Cash Apps. I remember last time I said something about the Cash Apps. I said, people who don't want cash reparations, so we can break it down, send it to the Cash App so we can break it down the middle. I meant my kids break it down the middle because it's Jaden's and Willie's. You feel me? So again, man, hit the Cash App, man. Donate to the kid, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm about to get up out of here, though, man. It's over, man. I don't even know if I played my my intro in the beginning, but I'm gonna play it now for y'all.
Is not a nicety. It's not something nice to have for Black folk. It is now an absolute necessity. If you do not get reparations soon, Black folk, as I told you before, are through. Reparation is not a nicety, it's a necessity. What are the conditions? What are the conditions that precipitated Black folk getting into this dilemma? And what Black labor, white wealth did, it tracked 800 years of history in very systematic terms to show you every strategy, every technique, every law, every public custom, and every public policy that was used to enslave Black folk around the world and to maldistribute distributed almost 100% of all this nation's wealth, power, resource, privileges, businesses, and controls of all levels of government into the hands of the dominant white society. And what slavery and Jim Crow segregation did with black folk, it intentionally maldistributed all the resources away from black folk and created a real-life monopoly game. Black folk in America are playing in a real-life monopoly game that you're totally ill-prepared to play and win.
Peace. It's over.